everyone. A very good evening to all of you. My name is Anuja. I am from LegalEdge, and today we are here to have CLAT Sprint. Now, first of all, I would ask you the meaning of sprint, and I'm sure you know. Sprint is what prepares you for a marathon, because a sprint is an activity in which a very small amount of time you practice rigorously. So that's exactly what we plan to do with you today. We'll be here for another 30 to 40 minutes, and in that short span of time, we'll be practicing rigorously. Now, if you may want to ask what would we practice, we would practice exactly what CLAT 2020 asked. We would be practicing a lot of RCs. So, to be precise, we'll be practicing three RCs. That's the plan today. They have been handpicked. They are really meaningful texts to read. I think you should thoroughly enjoy them. And the questions are quite challenging because the options are fairly close, and you'll have to do some good thinking to eliminate and to decide which option should be chosen. So I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be fast, and you'll have ample amount of time. So that's what my plan is. That I'll give you 5 minutes to handle one RC, and after those 5 minutes are over, we'll begin discussion. Okay, that's exactly the kind of time that you get during a mock as well for handling one RC. So that's exactly what we plan to do today, and that will be followed by a discussion, a thorough, detailed discussion of every question, every option. Be with me, be all ears. I am sure, even without your asking, all your doubts will be answered. And we'll be ending this session with a better understanding of comprehension questions. Okay. I'll be playing questions on the PPT, which is right behind me. You can see them. And also, I have shared these passages on our Telegram channel, which is LegalEdge Telegram channel. You'll find the passages there. So if you want to, you can download it from there as well. You can read at your comfort. Otherwise, you can read it on the PPT behind me. Okay. So without further ado, I think we'll all set to get started. Here you go with the first passage. For solving this, you have 5 minutes. Okay. So exactly after 5 minutes, we'll begin our discussion. All right, people. So, time for the first passage is up. It had four questions based on it and only two paragraphs. And I hope that you're done reading and solving the questions too. If you have read the passage, I think you'll agree with me that it's very relatable, isn't it? I mean, the very first sentence is very relatable. Are we worried? Of course we are. We do have what if thoughts. We are battling with a future which is not yet here. And that is exactly what author is trying to say, that we have to acknowledge the present moment and just be in it and enjoy being. Because present moment is the only moment we will ever have to cope with. We will never have to cope with future. And when that time comes in the future when we have to cope with it, I think we'll have the right tools then. We'll not have it before, we'll not have it afterwards. That is exactly what author is trying to say. He's saying that we have become habitual waiters. We just want to wait. He says we wait for small time when we are waiting in a line or something in a traffic jam, and we also wait in a on a long term basis. You know, we keep waiting for things to get better, for our children to get married, for us to get a degree. And in this waiting process, we are losing what the present moment can offer. So his message to us is that we have to give it up. We have to give up habitual waiting. Whenever you feel that you're getting into that zone, he says, snap out of it, just come out of it and concentrate on the present moment. I think this is a very sane advice, very thoroughly needed advice, right? Now let's get to the questions. Question number one is a very useful question because it's asking the primary purpose, and somebody who has understood the passage from a bird's eye view only can tell what the primary purpose is, because here you do not have to state just something from the passage. You have to tell the most important thing of the passage. And is the most important thing option A, the present moment is its own death? Yes, that was a passing observation that present moment is gone and it does not have significance in future, but that was just a passing observation. B and C, C is just a recommendation that we practice monitoring our inner mental emotional state. But what is the primary purpose? Why has he written all that down? He has written it down because he wants to jolt us out of waiting and be focused in the present moment. That is why in question number one, our answer is D, that we awake out of waiting into the present. That is the primary purpose. Moving on to question number two, according to the author, the future. What is future? Is it a mental phantom? You know what a phantom is? Phantom is just, a ghost and imagination. But don't you think that is a hyperbole? That is an exaggeration of sorts that we are calling future a phantom? I don't think A, which was a close contender to B, which is the right answer, but A is an hyperbole. That is why the correct answer is B. Future is an imaginary mind projection. We are having what if thoughts, we are imagining whatever we want to, but that may or may not get true. It's not that future will always seem better. People always imagine worst case scenarios also. And D is, somewhat close, but B is more concise. So in question number two, our answer is B. Moving on to question number three, according to the passage, what about habitual waiting? So, habitual waiting is reducing the present moment to a means to an end. We're just getting somewhere and it's a means to that. Yes, but that is not exactly the point. That is not, I mean, that is a bit beside the point. I think when I say this, you will agree with me that the main point is B. Habitual waiting is a perfect recipe for permanent dissatisfaction and non fulfillment. He said, I would like to quote something from the passage. He was telling that, you would keep on fulfilling the goals that other people have set for you. And once you have achieved those, once you have that sort of money, then you'll realize that this does not give you satisfaction. This does not give you happiness. What will you do then? So you're cooking a dish which will lead to dissatisfaction, non-fulfillment, and that is exactly what habitual waiting will do. So start enjoying the present moment. Okay. And the last question now, question number four. What is true prosperity? What is true happiness? Happiness is the fullness of life now. If you focus on now, that is how you can be truly fulfilled. I think you realize that there is only one message, and if I will be very precise, I'll say the message is just be and enjoy being. That is the only message of this passage. And in all the questions, more or less, I have to answer the same thing. So I would consider this a very easy but tricky. passage because the message is very easy. The answers are quite obvious if you understand the message. But if you do not understand the primary message, then you get all the questions wrong. So before we move on to the second passage, I will repeat all the answers for you. Fourth is C. Third is B. Second is B. And first is D. Okay? Time for second passage begins now. You once again get 5 minutes. All right, people. I hope you're done, and I think we can get started. Yes? This particular passage is, could be an eye opener for people who think that all the ambitious people are running after money. This passage explains that life is basically a trade-off, and it's a trade-off between your family time and your work time. And these days, more and more people are deciding that they don't want to do those kind of jobs, in which their heart does not lie. They're giving up their cushy jobs, they are finding their true calling, and they are going after it. They are joining the happiness bandwagon. They want to be happy, that is more important. They want to have fulfilling experiences, and yes, that's what they are doing. This awareness is causing a transformation in their hearts, and that is what the passage was all about. The passage was telling you that you want to live a meaningful life, you want to live a life of purpose, and you have to look for that purpose. Everyone, I really like how the passage has ended. Everyone should ask what success means to them. The definition of success can be different. Just because you do not fit in somebody else's definition does not mean that you are unsuccessful. Your success it's according to your terms, and that's what people are doing these days. Now, question number 5 asks me, the passage provides information in support of which of the following assertions, and I'll have to say it's all of the above. It is D. You know why? Because the passage does support A. Doing what one is passionate about gives long lasting happiness. Otherwise, you'll lose your sense of purpose and you'll just be, just a cog in the wheel. Material possession only gives transient happiness, which is only temporary happiness. And we saw that. People are no longer running after villas and luxury cars because ones who did also are not fulfilled. And C tells us that the pursuit of happiness is the new success mantra. Remember that line? A lot of people are joining and jumping on the happiness bandwagon. That tells me that a lot of people are looking for happiness. And yeah, that is why all of the above can be supported by the information in the passage. I can find supporting evidence. Otherwise, I would not have chosen, right? Question number 6. The author refers to cubicle nation primarily in order to point out what? You remember he said that you can escape from cubicle nation. It's not that difficult. You just have to realign yourself. You have to find your goals. And that is why B is the best fit. He says, you can realign your life, you can reinvent your work and personal space, and then you can find your life's purpose, and then you can just go ahead and find your inner calling. Don't choose far-fetched options. This is a suggestion that I have for you. Don't choose options which really exaggerate situations, which are hyperbole. For example, look at C. It's saying frustrated employees in corporate jobs must break out and start their own business. Now, that is an exaggeration. The author was not asking everybody to become a businessman. So, don't choose far-fetched options. Keep eliminating the options that do not fit the context, and I think you'll automatically land up at the perfect choice. Question number 7, the passage implies that though people with money were happy for a while they were happy, then what happened? Then they realized that ultimately it was experience that provided happiness in the long run. Ultimately, it was a fulfilling experience that provided happiness. Okay. Now, what is wrong with option B? They have nothing to show for it at the end of the day. I think it's a bit exaggerated, don't you think? They have nothing at all. Now, C is very misleading because C says work should have a greater significance. But what work are you talking about? Are you talking about the corporate work, or are you talking about the work that one does, as hobby? So C is a bit vague because work is not defined here. And I don't think D even stands a chance. D is very, very unrelated to the passage. So obviously, question number 7, the answer is A. And question number 8 was sort of a case study. They gave you an example, and whatever you have learned from the passage, they have asked you to apply that on this situation. So, in this situation, this guy is not happy with his life, and author will obviously suggest him to go after his heart, what his heart desires. And that is why the answer should be B. He'll say, yeah, you go ahead, you give up the job and you follow your passion. He'll not say that stick to your boring job. He'll not say that don't nurture your dream. He'll not say things like that. He'll say, yes, you should go ahead and follow your passion. So answer should be B. Okay. Now we are coming to the last RC of the day, which is again A very short one. It has got only two paragraphs. I'm just giving you a feel before we go ahead. And then there are two questions. No, sorry, three questions on it, four questions on it. So let's get started with the reading, and your 5 minutes begin now. right, people, I believe you're ready now. So let's begin by discussing the passage first. Now, in every passage, no matter how complicated it is, there are always certain lines which, should be our focus because those lines have the most important data and they are often found in the beginning. So here we are talking about Germany's mid-sized manufacturers and they are called Mittelstand, and we are praising them for being the backbone of world's fourth largest economy. How? What are they doing? And whatever they are doing, they are hiding their light under a bushel. That means they are not out there in the limelight. They are family owned, they are in small towns, and they are supplying only to the businesses that buy their specialized machinery. But they are becoming sort of an international celebrity, and that is why we know that people are sort of making a pilgrimage to Germany to study their techniques. And foremost in these pilgrims are the South Koreans. They are reaching there. And we are clearly told that Germany's economic strength in recent years is the most obvious reason why other countries want to copy it. Okay, but they are saying that there are some worries as well. The author has expressed some worries. How can we copy their system? He says, you cannot copy somebody's system lock, stock, and barrel. That is the idiom that he has used. That means you cannot copy somebody's system completely, and it is dependent on various intricacies that are happening in Germany but may not happen in your country. But anyway, he says it doesn't mean that your pilgrimage is going in vain. We are learning a lot of things from there, and also these Germans are also learning from the world. There is this line, it says they are busy learning from the world to stay competitive. They need to produce their goods globally and service them wherever their customers are, and that is why they are hiring foreigners. So that is what I got to know about these Germany's mid-sized manufacturers from the passage. Now let us handle the questions. Question number 9 is asking me that if we want to infer from the passage that pilgrimages to Germany are happening, then what is the assumption? Why are people going there? Can it be A? A says that the management science which is helping there cannot be imported to a foreign country. It goes contrary to the intention. If you assume that whatever is happening here, there in Germany cannot happen in my country, why would you even go there to learn? So A is contrary. B seems close, but B is only a recommendation that Germany should not conceal its ideas and talents. But even if they do, I think we can still learn something from Germany. So B is not the central point. The central point is C. They're assuming that these mid-sized manufacturers can bring a country to the path of economic glory. We were told that Germany's economic success is the main reason why people are going there, and they are assuming that because of this middle stand, Germany has become that economically potent, and they also want to learn what is behind that. So C is our assumption in question number 9. D is a learning from the pilgrimage that we have got, that even small companies can be world class, but it is not the basic assumption. Okay, so I think this was a question in which elimination was more important than selection. And if you have done that right, your answer is C. Question number 10 asks us, the author cites each of the following as possible influences on the success of Mittelstand except. Now, if you were reading carefully with me, you must have noticed everything except D. Lean manufacturing was not there. And A is using a metaphor. What does that metaphor mean? That you are selling shovels to gold diggers. You have realized that there is a gold rush, and everybody wants to dig gold. Now, instead of being a gold digger yourself, if you utilize this opportunity and be an opportunist, if you sell shovels to people because that is something that they will need, then you will make a lot of money, right? You may not find gold by digging gold, but by selling shovels, you will definitely find money. So that is what this is about. That is what they are doing. And I think A, B, C, all are reasons, but lean manufacturing was not mentioned anywhere. So question number 10, our answer is D. Question number 11 is asking us the limiting factor for South Korea to emulate the middle stand. And if you remember, we were told that industrial adversaries is becoming a problem. And when I decode that, I will say, what does industrial adversary mean? It means that there are bitter relations between management and workers. That is what C is all about. A was mentioned as a fact, that there is lack of medium-sized companies, but it was a fact, not a limiting factor. You see how they confuse you? They quote just anything from the passage, which is true, but it's not the answer to our question. And we just fall in the trap. So we have to be careful here. In question number 11, the answer is C. And last question for the day, question number 12, is a very tricky question because the options are very close, but I will say B is the best one. We discussed in the end that people are going to Mittelstand to learn from them, but they want to be global in everything that they do. And of course, they'll learn innovative techniques and they will remix ideas and they'll do all those things. But if there is one option which has the main idea, that is option B. So, with this, we have come to an end. We have successfully come to an end to today's CLAT sprint session. In short time, here we solved a lot of questions. And I hope the way we analyzed the reasons that I gave you are going to stay with you because that is going to help you analyze even more RCs. So RCs are going to change, but the logic remains the same. And that is why analysis matters even more than solving a text. So I'll be back with this session again, and we'll be solving some more questions. We'll be sprinting some more. Till then, you keep sprinting on your own every single day. If you do this much, I think you can take out this kind of time. You can take out half an hour to 40 minutes to solve three passages and analyze them. Keep doing that, and believe me, in a couple of months, you'll be far better. So, wishing you all the very best. Stay safe, take very good care of yourself, and thank you so much for being here tonight. I'll see you again. Bye bye.